Hello, Unsecurity Podcast listeners. This is episode 143.
Yes.
The date is August 11th, 2021. We got a special show today. Brad's here. Brad, say hi.
I think they could tell we've got all kinds of faces, not just that. And my camera just changed. That's fun.
Yeah, what just happened?
I have no idea. My hands are back. I have no idea.
I had set the C2 command to go through it before we started recording, but it was a little lagged my connection to Brad's computer, so it just went out afterwards. Sorry about that. That's my bad.
Brad. That new computer, you got to secure that thing. You got to harden it, bro.
There's nothing on it.
How many services you running on that thing that you don't need right now?
Probably all of the services.
Got it. Yeah, that's what I do too. I just throw stuff.
On.
Right. Are you lagging the audio a little bit, or is it me? It might be me because I'm in the middle of Spearfish, South Dakota.
That sounds good to me.
All right, good. All right, well, this is we've got our team here. We've got Oscar Minks. We're going to call you like what's the nickname for you? Oscar,
the dude is the preferred nomenclature, man.
No, but there was another one that you had, that Papa something rather.
Old Dad, GGZ. There's a few.
All right. So Oscar runs the technical services team at FR Secure. Also, is with these bunch of guys at Defcon, Team Ambush. And we're going to talk about Defcon today. You guys are back. Tell us kind of all about what happened at Defcon. Tell us how you did in the competitions you did. You got good news. You placed number one in one of your CTFs, the Biohacking Village. That was awesome. We'll talk about all that stuff. So joining you is Pinky. And Pinky, you sort of lead the blue team at FR Secure. How you doing? Welcome.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Glad to be here.
Your video changes too. Is everybody's video
Oscar's? Yeah. As soon as Oscar started talking, his video zoomed. Then Pinky talked, his video zoomed.
Yeah.
Again, I set these commands 5 minutes ago. I don't know what's going on.
This is not boding well for our blue team if I'm not even taking Eric's C2.
Yeah. How much jitter did you put on that beacon, bro?
Ooh, that might have been it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that other voice that you're hearing is Eric Hansen. Eric is our lead pen tester, the red team extraordinaire. Eric, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Now you guys were all. That is the second time. And Oscar, how many times has this been for you now?
I think maybe 4.
All right. So welcome to your first episode.
Yeah.
And Pinky, how many have you been in?
This is it. Yeah. Other than the Hackle Box, I'm first time, long time here.
All right. So, what, half dozen then? Good.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Pretty close.
Several dozen, really.
That's awesome.
It'll feel like that many after we're done.
Yep. So here we are, episode 182, 183, I think now. This is what happens, man. I'm at Sturgis. I'm in the middle of South Dakota. Not middle, actually. The southwest side of South Dakota. And Brad, you also participated in Defcon. You did yourself CTFs by yourself.
I did. That is not something I would recommend. It sucked.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody to lean on.
Oscar, how many team members did we have at Defcon this year?
So we actually had 19 people travel this year.
19.
Yep. Yeah.
All team ambush?
Yep. All team ambush.
Dude, that's what was last year? I mean, last year was virtual.
The last year we were in person. I believe there were 8. That's going from my memory, which isn't great. Eric, is that right? 8?
Yeah, I believe it was 8.
Yep.
So 8 to 19. That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Cool. It was nice though. We upgraded our room this year. So the last time we were in person, 2 years ago, we all kind of shared our workspace. It was one hotel room. And I love everybody, but I got tired of smelling everybody at the end of that week. And so this time we had 2 suites to work out of, had a red team suite, a blue team suite, and it was nice and comfortable, and it was really cool.
Nice. Did you guys have connecting rooms too?
We did have one adjoining room to each suite, but unfortunately we couldn't make our suites connect, but they were just across the hallway from each other. We kept the doors unlocked, and so we kind of hop back and forth between those rooms we needed. And then every night we got yelled at by security for leaving our doors open and unlocked, because that is apparently a security risk.
Try cellophane.
Yeah.
I mean, Anybody walking in and seeing you guys is gonna just turn right around anyway.
That's what I thought. They're gonna walk in and be like, nope, wrong room. Peace. See ya.
So tell me about that. What day did you guys get there?
I think Eric and we got there a little early on Tuesday, the day before, just so we could kind of get settled and be ready to greet the team and have a little bit of fun and all that good stuff. The rest of the team all flew in on Wednesday. We were there from Wednesday till most of us left Monday. We did have a couple of folks that had some personal things, and so they ended up coming home on Sunday. But yeah, it was Wednesday to Monday for most.
Okay. And Pinky, how many DEFCONs have you been to? What number was this for you?
So I didn't actually go this year. I did remote. So somebody had to stay back and kind of hold down the fort a little bit, but and I did remote last year. So haven't actually gotten to go to true DEFCON just yet.
Oscar, how come you don't like Pinky?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm not sure we should talk about that on air here, but remember the smell thing I was talking about?
Yeah.
Got it. No, enough said. I got it. And Eric, how many DEFCONs has this been for you now? Because this isn't very far for you. How far is Vegas from where you live?
Well, 6 to 7 hours, depending on how fast you drive.
Okay. Did you drive or did you fly?
I flew.
Okay.
And yeah, this would be my, I guess, 5th DEFCON, I think. One virtual and then fourth in person. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell me, so how many CTFs did you guys do this year?
So yeah, we competed in 3 primary for focus. One was the biohacking hospital under siege. We did the OpenSOC blue team CTF, and then we also did command and control.
Very cool. And Brad, what did you do?
The biohacking and the OpenSOC.
Okay. And I was getting texts kind of along the way on how you guys were doing. I'm the granddad who just cheers on his kids. You know, I don't really do anything anymore. Just go team. But it was pretty cool. So what was different this year? Because last year everybody was virtual. This year it was kind of bringing everybody back. But I know that there were a lot of people that would normally go to DEFCON, you know, people that I know that didn't go this year because of, you know, the Delta variant or whatever. What did it feel like?
Yeah, it was interesting. There's definitely a decrease in attendance. I think the numbers around 9,000 attended this year, and I think they said it's about a quarter of what we'd seen before. So I think a lot of folks were feeling that same kind of pressure or fear from Delta variant, things kind of kicking back up again, in Vegas. But I guess the flip side, the nice thing about it is, which I still haven't got to enjoy some of these things, is that it was a hybrid focused conference. So all the in-person activities are available through online resources as well. And so for us, that's actually great because when we're competing in CTFs nonstop, we typically don't get to partake in a lot of the talks and the workshops and all those things. And so now this year we're going to have, the ability to go back and look at all those archives and see those things, which I know they always archive some stuff. I'm not sure if they always had the complete catalog available. So that's kind of cool. It was cool too, since we were a hybrid team as well, since we had some folks that stayed back. So all the CTFs were still set up so that you could compete either way. And so it gave us that flexibility. So that's the 2 big things. It was interesting. We would hit up, I have the vendor section on Saturday. It was later on Saturday just to see what vendors were there. And we walk in, it was kind of like a ghost town. There was not a lot of vendor activity. You didn't see as many, those in-person booths and stuff like that as we had seen in the past. So that was a little different. But from our standpoint, from the ambush standpoint, it kind of just felt like we were back in the saddle and it felt like home because, most of our time is spent together in our rooms, working together, kind of set up our little battle station and get right to work and get to have a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie and team building. And so even though the conference itself was different, I think our experience was pretty close to what it was before.
Awesome.
I think that those on the CTFs were much better managed this year.
I give it a coin flip on that. I like the finals for the blue team was kind of a huge challenge for us.
Yeah.
I know we had some East Coasters and, they released a 20 gig data set they were hosting on their own servers at like 5 a.m. East Coast time, about the right, Pink. I think when they put it up 4 a.m.
I was asleep. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was late.
I wouldn't know because I didn't make the finals.
I'll try harder next time, Brad.
Yeah, try harder.
Okay.
someday, just keep at it,
Yeah.
slugger.
I wasn't too far off.
That's pretty impressive what you did by yourself, man. I was riding Harley, so I didn't do anything. Like I said, I just watch you guys do stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think John just left. I think John was getting bored with the conversation. That's John Kittleson. So John Kittleson came up here from Denver. He's a pen tester. I don't know what company he works for, but he follows the shit show. So that's how he got here.
Nice.
All right. So 3 CTFs. Tell and the biohacking village. Now tell me what that one is.
Eric, you want to take that, man?
Yeah, sure. So Biohacking Village is, trying to bring some attention to information security and some of the stuff in the healthcare industry in general, right? Especially like around devices and stuff like that. I think we see this with devices all across the industry, all across the board, all across the world, right? Is that we see that like SCADA environments and ICS stuff and medical manufacturers and all these different devices, security is an afterthought, right? And it's kind of one of those things that has to be kind of brought in and kind of bandaged on, I think, after the fact. And I think they're trying to just help bring a lot of awareness to that. And so they run the CTF that is kind of all across the board. It ranges from anything from just trivia about healthcare and different way things security works in healthcare to actually, getting on medical devices or things like that and kind of messing with them and then seeing if you can, exploit them, pivot through them, things like that. And then, looking at PCAP logs of previous, maybe attacks in certain environments and stuff like that, and kind of analyzing that and learning about that kind of stuff. And so it's a neat one. I think what they're doing is great. They put on a pretty good CTF, and one of the reasons we're kind of drawn to it is it's maybe not a perfect area of specialization. So it's an area we can really focus, dig in on and stuff like that, and see how we do. And one of the things I like the most about that one too is that it, like I said, it ranged everywhere from trivia to actually exploiting something, and so with our team having a lot of new people on new faces and trying to have a way for those people to get engaged and be able to do something and own something and really help out the team and not feel like maybe struggling to find a place for them to fit in and actually do something and really help out. This was a great CTF for that, and so it was nice.
I think the thing that scared me was how easy it was to get into some of those devices and like change drug records and doses. And like, it's uncomfortable.
So what, in your opinion, what is the state of security in biomed devices, right? Not just, there's such a wide range of biomed devices, right? I know one of the sponsors was Medtronic. Pat Joyce is a good friend of mine, the CISO at Medtronic. GE, I know, is another sponsor. Huge medical device manufacturer, all kinds of stuff everywhere. I haven't hacked any of that stuff, but it seems from people that I've talked to, it's really pretty easy. Is that true?
What was the one? It was basically root access over telnet unauthenticated.
Yeah, and then I think if you look at it, I don't know, I don't get to dig in super deep, and we're exposed to it at a limited level doing stuff like this. I'd love to be more and more involved, and I think that is kind of one of the goals that I've at least set for myself coming out of this is like, I'd like to be more involved in that side of things. But from what I've been around hacking into things in some fashion for a long time now, right? 25 years. And so it reminds me of the stuff I saw 20 years ago. You know what I mean? It's not so much that it's like, it's different. It's just behind, right? Does that, that make sense? It just seems like, it seems like all the years of experience that we have in security and in different, especially like, let's say app dev, right? Or in securing a network and environments like that, it doesn't seem to have transferred over in some of these other areas, right? Like people are still just kind of working under the assumption of like, we got to get something working and on there. And then, oh, there's this other requirement that says security. So we'll just tack this on top of that, So
one of the trivia questions really nailed it. It was, two of the three pieces of the CIA triad are sacrificed. What are they? Or what's the one that's not sacrificed, right? And so availability is the most important because of the a function, right? You can't have a machine go down. So they focused on keeping availability at the cost of confidentiality and integrity.
Right.
Yeah.
But
And
I mean,
I think,
but if you have root, I mean, availability is at risk too, right?
Oh,
Especially with what is like, 'cause you think about it from an attacker standpoint, right? It's return on investment. What's going to get me the most money as quickly as possible, right? Screw the state sponsored shit, because you're not going to, excuse my language, you're not going to stop that. A hospital's not going to stop that, right? But they're also not interested. So whatever, it's money, and where the money's at is ransomware, right? So yeah, I mean, I get where they're coming from, but it's a moot point.
yeah, and I guess too, like going back to those devices, we talk like a lot of the exploits are trivial. They are using, insecure channels, communication, insecure authentication methods, and all that. But on the flip side, like we have to think about this. I wrote an article that's supposed to be published, I think, this week, and we almost want to point like at manufacturers and say it's negligent to ignore these things, right? But on the flip side, we have to also think about what these machines do and how difficult that patching process is for those vendors to say, okay, I'm now trying to correct a security flaw on a device that literally controls someone's life at that point. And so let's just, if we think about that for a second, your accuracy and success rate has to be perfect. There's no other option for that. And so not only are they, insecure by design, there's a lot of restrictions on how those things can be improved or fixed for long term. And so it goes back to what I think we all agree on here, and we all say like the only way to really secure those things is to air gap them, segment them, get them off your network.
But I think it's even a combination, isn't it? I mean, something that's insecure at the core will always be insecure, right? So if you didn't build security into your medical device from the beginning, you'll never be able to secure it, right? So the air gap is nice, but what happens if somebody's behind the air gap or somebody gaps your air gap, right?
Yeah.
So because one thing that you said, Eric, that really hits home is we're still doing the same stuff that we were doing 20, 30 years ago, right? I mean, it seems like nobody's really held accountable for making these things secure.
Yeah.
I mean, Oscar, you mentioned negligence. What's anybody going to do about it?
Right. And I do think you're right. Like on both sides of that, we do have to secure it. But the way I perceive it is today, like it's just not there. And so how do we operate while we're in current state with no security being on those devices? Segment, but then people like us need to influence to be able to make a paradigm shift as we move forward. I mean, that's the real solution.
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's important to bring up a couple things too. Is one, yeah, things have been behind, but there are people who are trying to lead change, and such as the people who are involved in these villages and the sponsors of those and stuff like that. But then two, one of the issues I think that we run into is the fact that and I again, not super familiar with the exact process in these environments, but familiar with the idea of these things, is that when you create a device and you get through and you have your whatever requirements you have to hit, and you get it's certified or whatever it might be, right? You get the clearance off on that thing. Changing stuff after the fact requires you to go all the way through that process, requires money to go into that process. Now, if you were to make a change to your device to make it more secure, it actually costs you money. That's a problem, right? If we add security to something, now they have to go all the way through that process again, potentially.
It does depend a little bit on that though, because there are some security changes that they can make without having to recertify. But things like closing telnet or kind of those big fundamental, yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's the point. Like, I know this year they didn't do it, but last year we also did the biohacking village, remotely, and you had one on that situation where it was like, oftentimes you can't make these massive changes, so you just do a open SSL wrapper around telnet, which is not a solution, right? But it doesn't change it enough for it to require certification or anything like that. So that, again, we need to make sure that security doesn't get in the way of increasing security, right? Or these types of things that we do don't get in the way. And I think that's a problem if we're making it cost them money to fix things. That sucks.
Well, and the other thing is these machines are built to last. It's not like you have a super high turnover, right? These are going to be around for years and years and years. So yet now I would say they're probably better about building security in because it's become a bigger deal. But how long is it going to take for those insecure devices to age out? So
Yeah, and even too, like maybe they are getting better at securing those devices right now, but the restrictions Eric talked about are still going to be in place. So they are secured today, but are they still going to be in 6 months, a year, and so on? And that's the big challenge.
Well, and yeah, this reminds me of the days. My last real job was, I was the CISO for a pharmaceutical, about a $4 billion pharmaceutical. They had this FDA validation. Now, same thing applies to medical devices. It's the same FDA. It's the same law, really. And so when something is validated, right, that's what you're referring to, Eric. This package has been validated. If you make any
Right.
changes to it, you have to go through the validation process again, which is the biggest pain in the ass. It's a stack of paperwork like this long. And so, yeah, they don't want to do it. But the problem, and that was 15 years ago now, right? We still had that same problem. We still haven't fixed it. Where the point is, like for drugs, the point is that the formulation doesn't change. The point isn't that the operating system doesn't get patched. You know what I mean? You've got to separate out like what the point actually is from the other points. You know what I mean? And I don't think they don't do that. So we're stuck with this.
Right. It needs to be more modular of a process, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely room for improvement.
Well, that's cool. So what's the tell me about the other CTFs? You guys did 2 others.
Yeah, we did OpenSoc, the blue team CTF. Pink, you want to talk through that one, dude?
Pinky.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
been
sure.
way too quiet over there. Gotta
Yeah, I
get him.
know, right? Just let you
Speak
guys
some
go
truth,
at
brother.
it. So yeah, the OpenSoc blue team, we competed in this one last year as well. Format was a lot different this year, actually. So last year it was a little more threat hunt, IR investigation, kind of true, like let's go find a phishing email and let's work from there, that kind of thing. This year, the day one, so the qualifiers were very, very SOC focused. So, and just for those who don't know, our team here at FR Secure, we're not a SOC. We're an incident investigation, incident response team. We don't monitor SOCs daily. It's kind of not really our thing. So to be honest, we struggled a little bit on that first day with that, just trying to get in the groove of that and trying to find queries. And that said, though, I mean, still top 20 for the team on that first day to be able to get into the finals. We really did some awesome work there for it to not be our wheelhouse. So that was a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun things there. It's like with any CTF, getting flags and everybody gets super excited and pumped and there's so many flags in that one. I think the first place team had 8,000 points, and I think they're all broken up into 20-point flags. So huge number of flags to get there. And so we ran through that on the first day, worked till up in the evening, got into the top 20. I think we were 16th or something, Oscar? Is that right?
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
I don't know what the robot said, but I think he was just confirming with me. So
I'm back.
but,
Sorry.
Oscar's a machine. So what are you going to do, man? This is just how he operates. So
somebody recharges batteries.
So we come into the second day and we kind of got a little bit of a heads up. They told us to brush off our old school IR skills, and so Oscar and I were texting back and forth, super pumped, right? Like, this is us. We're gonna dominate this, and we were really excited. And I think it's kind of one of those things. I think I sent you a message and said, rest up, tomorrow we murder. So,
Yeah.
So everybody kind of went to bed to get some sleep, and that was when they dropped the 20 gig images. And we kind of got started on them later. I was 2 hours in before I even had data to work with. I think maybe even 3. It's a 7-hour contest. Second on day 2.
Yeah, we had one of our guys that didn't get the data set till it was over.
No, he got it Sunday. Yeah, he finished. Yeah. It was over at 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Yeah. So yeah, we hammered through that best we could. We got a slow start. I think again the first place team had something like 800 points before we got our first flag. So it was a little bit of a slow start. That said, though, battled through it. It was a little more traditional IR. Some SOC type stuff that was a little different than what we do, but with some good old fashioned threat hunting too, right? I mean, some cobalt strike beacons, that kind of thing, decode and really stuff we're good at. So we hammered through that. Team did great, and we ended up finishing up 8th in that. So improved one over last year. Last year we got 9th. This year we got 8th. So a lot of good work from the guys there. But that one's a lot of fun. It's true incident response, I guess is the way to put it for that second day.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that second day did get into forensics and incident response rather than the same SOC stuff, because like, Pink mentioned, that's not really our wheelhouse. The one curveball we had is, we knew it was going to be more digital forensics and incident response focused, but we really didn't know what the format of the data was. And then we seen that format of the data, and it was all CAPE extractions. And it was like, okay, we don't use CAPE. It's a great tool, but then we have to spend a little time to like, all right, let's acclimate to CAPE data sets and how those CAPE data sets are arranged and what we actually get from them. Let's figure out how we start parsing this data. And so we did have a little bit of a learning curve there in the beginning, but we got over the learning curve quick, and, we finished top 8. We were number 8. We trended top 5 until probably the last 20 minutes, and then we just got bumped out. We were working through a couple things there that apparently someone else was able to work through a little bit faster. But all in all, I think it was a really good time. And considering our challenges and struggles, hey, I mean, everybody's probably going to have those, but regardless, I'm incredibly proud of what we're able to do there.
Yeah, I'm proud of you too, man. The eighth is a hell of an accomplishment. What? How many teams are there?
So this year was limited to 100 teams on this one. I think last year there was over 200. And since we are doing a lot of SOC team work, their infrastructure just couldn't handle it. So they did 5-man teams and limit it to 100 teams. So you got about 500 people banging on their own infrastructure, blasting wildcard queries at a database that's not meant to handle that sort of thing. And this tool started failing last year. And so this year they did, improve on that. You had to pre-register. You had to do all these things up front before the event to be able to get accepted into the event. So we did those. And I did see I don't know about you, Pink, since you were remote, but for me, the performance of those tools, even though they did lag some, it didn't compare to last year at all. Last year was maddening at points.
Yeah, honestly, I think I hit one little laggy spot at one point. I think it was probably me running a bad query because I was, probably a wildcard query or something like that.
Yeah.
But I thought it went really well as far as the back end went this year. They did great.
I agree.
Congratulations, man. That's a hell of a job. It's really cool. And what about the last CTF?
We did because our team was, quite a bit bigger this year than a couple of years past, right? We decided to split up and kind of, especially because like Biohacking Village was a 5-man team, things like that. And so we're kind of splitting out to different teams and having them tackle different things. And one of the other ones we did was one we did last year. We took second place in it last year. It was called Command and Control. We got a, small team in there. I think 4 people working on that one to see, how well they could go at it this year. And that one is taking a look at it. So it's kind of it's a neat approach. It's put on by some people who actually, do training in a lab environment for these types of things, for like pen testing or things like that. The approach for this one was kind of like you recently got hired at a company, and then some mysterious entity reaches out to you and tells you about how the company you work for is totally evil and you need to hack them from the inside and put them to task. And so it's an interesting kind of storyline to it. It has a storyline, which most of them do not. But the whole purpose of it is kind of to really kind of test your way through things and gain access to different parts of the system and elevate your privileges and gain access to other parts and maybe other servers and pivot and learn information. It actually has a lot of correlation to pen testing. I think they do a great job with it. The one thing that got us last year, because we were in first all the way through it in last year, and then at the very end, it was like, all right, so now you've gotten access to everything. You've gotten the keys to the kingdom, burn it all down. And we were just like, we don't do that. Like it was just like the gap. That's the gap in our skill set, right? Like, and so we ended up, we went from like healthily ahead in first place last year to taking second because we were just slower at that. It was a gap in our skill set. This year, the guys that did it, they did a great job. It was a different set of, that didn't maybe have a specialty in some of the same areas, and so not quite as well. They took 7th place in it, I believe, if I recall correctly. It's still great showing, and it was good stuff.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to your team too, man. I'm so proud of this team. I'm proud of how far things have come. I mean, you talk about the size of the team. I also know the quality of the character of the people on the team. And to me, that's like the most important thing, right? Technical skills you can learn, you can teach. You can't teach somebody to be good. You're just a good person. And everybody except for Mike, it's just a great person on the team. I mean, oh wait, did I say that out loud? No, I'm just kidding. That was a jab at Mike. I love Mike. Whose job was it to babysit Mike this year?
It's collective. Yeah.
It takes a family,
Yeah.
I love that cat.
we were laughing, and I guess it was Wednesday morning. You know, some folks from ELT were out for Black Hat, and they wanted to come visit. This was Thursday morning. Come visit with us Thursday morning before they had to leave and stuff like that. And so let me know Thursday morning they'd be coming over in the afternoon or the evening. And so we were like at breakfast, and I was like, "Hey, just heads up, guys, we're gonna have some folks from ELT coming over later to visit." And Mike's like, "Oh, that's for me, right?" I laughed. I was like, "No way, man. You be you. You be you. We might lock you in a room, but you be you."
I love Mike. I remember the first day he started, because he's got a hell of a journey, a hell of a story behind, you know, kind of where he came from and how he's come along. So I like poking fun of him.
Yeah, I'm so proud of that dude. I mean, just I think about where he was when we started and where he is today. And, you know, he's a really sharp kid who's just grown so much in a short period of time.
Yeah. Well, and you've kind of built this team that specializes in doing that, right? In raising security awesomeness, right? I mean, Eric, your team, you know, once you stepped into kind of like leading the, I guess, mentoring, you know, teaching these guys and gals. Now we have gals on our team, which is like awesome. You know, teaching them the ropes and giving them the confidence to just step in there. In worst case, you break something. All right, just unbreak it, whatever, you know.
Right.
I sent a note last night to ELT, just bragging on my boys here, my girls, you know. And one of the things I specifically called out was the inclusion that I witnessed and got to be part of. And what I mean by that inclusion is it doesn't matter what your skill set is today. It doesn't matter how much you know or don't know. It just matters that you want to be part of this and you want to be a contributor. And I see that everybody feels that way. There's no egos that go along with this. I mean, we are all one team, and regardless of your specific knowledge, your specific skill set, there's no judgment there. We're all just in this to help you get better and help each other get better, because regardless of what I may think I know or I don't know, it's always somebody else that's going to know something that I don't know. And we all feel that way, and you see that. And it's just amazing, man, to have so many people from so many different backgrounds, so many different geographical locations to come together and for a week live like family. And we really are family, and just to accomplish great things together. I mean, I don't want to get all hippy dippy, but it's a beautiful thing, and it makes me smile and brings a tear to my eye when I talk about it.
Hippy dippy. That's a new nickname.
Hippy dippy.
You know,
Hippy dippy.
what's funny is last week I was talking to one of our newer consultants who's been around for like less than 6 months, and she said the exact same thing. It's like, it's family. It's so amazing to work here. So it's top down, you know, which is what makes it so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll say that, you know, we go out to Defcon, we talk about these CTFs we do and stuff like that, talk about placements. But the reason we started doing CTFs in the first place, the reason we continue doing CTFs, is never about the placement. It's a really good environment to get everyone to stress the hell out and then start to rely on each other and start to talk to each other and to start becoming a team. You know what I mean? We had a lot of new people with us this year that we hadn't even met in person yet. You know what I mean? It was with COVID and everything. We hired people, hadn't met them in person, half of them and stuff like that. And the first day, I'll say, like, we did some other CTF and stuff like that. We didn't do so great the first day. We're kind of lagging behind on some things. A lot of it, you know, came together on that second day and that third day of us needing to fight through it and remember, like, hey, this is what we're here to do, is to kind of learn from each other, to work together, you know, and bond. So
it was pretty amazing too, like how quick those walls came down, right? Like Eric mentioned, like that first day you could really see like some people in their shells and maybe kind of, you know, just staying in their comfort box in their zone. But then 24 hours later, most of those were gone. And, you know, if they weren't another 24 hours, then pretty much all of them are gone at that point. And we're just one unit and helping each other as we need to.
Yeah, and for anyone listening who doesn't know what the experience is like, you know, when you do the CTF this year, it was, well, for Central Time, it was noon to 8, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then shorter, noon to 3 on Sunday. But, you know, when you're head down doing that, and it's like 100 miles an hour from the go, yeah, it'll break you down pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's like that Saturday when the final round started for us. it actually started an hour sooner than we had originally read. And so, kind of plan to wake up, get breakfast and go, and wake up and we say, there's no time for breakfast. There's no time for coffee. Let's just go. And I mean, for me, literally that day, I didn't have water, and I don't drink the tap water in Vegas. There was an energy drink in the fridge. I had that. There was a Coors Light in the fridge. I had one of those. That was it, the whole day. And then it's like, 5 or 6 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, I haven't had water. I haven't had food. I haven't had anything. I've been working nonstop for all these others. I don't even know if I went to the bathroom. Like, now we get to breathe. And by that point, like, you're whopped. I mean, just mentally exhausted at that point and beat up. You feel like you've been in a war.
After a while, it does start to rash and shape up a little bit. And then you know that you went to the bathroom. It was just a day and a half ago. That's all.
I should actually clarify that Coors Light in the refrigerator, though. There wasn't a Coors Light in my refrigerator, but Eric had one in his refrigerator. And he walked in my room and it wasn't open yet. And I'm like, oh man, that looks so good. And he's like, here you go, bud. You can have that. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. And then he goes back to his refrigerator, realize they're all gone.
Oh, and he came back and he didn't come and take it back.
No, I offered him a drink of it though. I think
that's what family does, man. That's family right there.
That is family. Well, but Eric, you brought up such a good point. We get wrapped around, placing and all that other stuff, but the team building piece of this is so huge, right? Relying on each other, learning together, fighting together, suffering sometimes together. It brings you, it just makes the team so tight.
Accomplishment together is something that is outside of teams. It's something you could do with families, with spouses, things like that. It's something that honestly making accomplishments together is one of the strongest bonds you can possibly do with someone, I think. And it's one of the things that brings our team close together. So.
And like in a challenging situation too, right? I always think about that. Like, we never remember the easy wins, right? We remember the hard wins and we remember our losses. And I think these are always hard wins. And so you're forced to be your brother's keeper when you're in that situation.
Yeah, totally.
Or Mike's keeper, depending.
Yeah.
Mike
is, my brother. So.
Yeah, they should give you a black badge for keeping Mike alive.
So that photo I sent you, I think on Sunday, I don't know if you noticed Mike's pose in there. He was wearing the Beavis and Butthead shirt that said, "I'm the great cornholio." And I told him to flex, and then he did the cornholio, like, for the picture.
Yeah, I love that picture, man. That picture's awesome.
I don't even think he remembered that he was wearing that shirt. That's just how Mike flexes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Brad, what made you decide to do CTFs yourself?
Last year, as for the IR team, kind of helping them because they were still really ramping up. I mean, if you think about it, 2 years ago, we had one member of the IR team, and so where those guys, Oscar and Pinky, what you've done with them is just amazing. That's my background, right? So it's fun. It was kind of a nice change from governance and the politics of VCSO and all that stuff. And let's be honest, it's always nice to see if you still have it or not.
I'm sure, Brad, you got a lot of that same joy that I got. I know Pink got, which was seeing our guys last year and like seeing where they are this year and how far they've grown in that time. To me, man, it made me just feel like a proud parent.
Unbelievable.
Like,
yeah, it's
definitely
awesome.
I was telling Oscar, when did we talk? Was that yesterday or was it today? I don't remember.
It was today. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we talked today, and I think I'm gonna try to join you guys next year. You can just throw a whole bunch of PCAPs at me. PCAPs are still PCAPs, 20 years later.
There will still be PCAPs for sure. So
PCAPs.
As long as IP version 4 keeps being IP version 4.
Yep.
IP version 6 stuff. Send that to Brad.
What about PCAPs of UART and USB traffic? You got those too?
Sure.
Those are a pain. Yeah.
Why not? Send me anything.
We'll have to do like the management group and then compete against the teams. So the 5 of us on a team and see how we do.
I'll make sure you don't run out of beer, Oscar.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't know that you could possibly do that. We bought a 30-pack like every hour, it felt like. I don't know. We
But
massively underestimated the size of our team. You know what I mean? We just kept
yeah.
buying a single 30-pack and then remembering we had 19 people there. Everybody grab a beer and a half, it's gone, you know?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Like our last night, you know, after we were just going to celebrate after the CTF's closed, go out to a nice dinner and stuff. Eric and I had been at the closing ceremony, and I'm like, "There's no beer. Let's grab some beer and take it back." So we grab a 30-pack of beer, drop it in the room, like, "Hey guys, we're gonna go to dinner." Blah blah blah. And I come back home from dinner. I was like, I'm just going to relax, look at the strip because we had a suite that had a nice view of the strip, have a beer, pop the fridge. And there's like 3 beers in there, you know, in a room full of people. And I'm like, well, I guess we won't do that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I love the stories too. So what one thing kind of sticks out from this Defcon as like, I will never forget this Defcon because of what? Is there something that sticks out?
From my standpoint, how painful doing that CTF is by yourself. Like you don't realize, you know, at the time, building the team and having people to lean on, but you don't realize how impactful that is. Or at least I didn't until I was like staring at the screen, you know, 7 hours in day 2 going, I don't, what am I looking at? And I didn't have anybody to turn to and kind of like, hey, I need a second set of eyes. So I think just reinforces how great that is for a team building exercise.
2 things I won't forget. Neither of them have to do with DEFCON.
Yeah.
That is, there was 2 different moments, different situations, you know what I mean, where I just had realizations, just kind of thought about things and just really appreciated the situation I'm in. You know what I mean? One of those, we were all both teams, blue and red, on Wednesday when everybody first got there. We all went out. I think it was Wednesday, right? We all went out to the pool. And we were all sitting in the pool in this little cave, waterfalls all around us, drinking beers and cocktails. And I just had like a thought, just kind of sat back looking at it and just being like, this is our job.
You looked
know
at
what
me
I
and
mean?
said that. Yeah, we thought about that. And like we both just smiled. It was like
it almost brought a tear to my eye. I was like, you know, I could do the job I do. I mean, to an extent, I can do generally what I do anywhere. There's a lot of companies out there who need managers of a red team, right? I could do that in a lot of different places. And but the fact that the company believes in us to this, and then this isn't BS. I mean, like, honestly, I had to sit back where I was just like, the fact that someone puts that much faith in us and puts that much money behind us and wants to make sure that we have the things to build a team and to bond as a team and to do these things was great. You know what I mean? It really, like, I took a step back from it and was just like, wow, you know. And then similar exact thing, but not the company, just my team in general, just the red team in general, watching us all work together. Seth even came to me at one point and took me aside and said, hey man, what we've built here, what you have built here is just an amazing team. And it's an amazing team full of amazing people doing amazing things. And it's like, I know, it's crazy.
That's
Those
awesome.
are the things I won't ever forget. Those 2 things, those realizations.
Yeah, your second point is mine. And it was just like going from, you know, we were 2 years ago, the last time we were there, to this time, and seeing what an amazing team that we had built. It was humbling. And to me, it just makes me feel, I just say it all the time, like I'm so lucky to be part of this. I feel so lucky to have the opportunity to be part of this, and seeing everyone there as family helping was just amazing.
You guys said all the good stuff, all the mushy stuff. So I'm just going to say Chris's shorts.
Oh yeah.
That was, and I was remote, so I only saw this on camera.
I'm trying to forget that. That's, I don't know that I will, but I'm actively attempting.
Does anybody have a picture of these shorts?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I'm sure you've heard this before.
But that's except for the electronic communication stuff. I got some stuff from Vegas right here.
I will say this. So I did leave the team alone during the competition, but I logged into the Discord Saturday morning and said, you know, hey, good luck, guys. And what do I see is Chris is standing up showing his shorts. And I was like, what? Whoa, time out. That is not what I expected.
They were a thing of wonder. It was wonderful.
He just
and
had
beautiful.
some Daisy Dukes on that hopefully no one ever else has to see.
The guy wearing Daisy Dukes?
They were like short swim shorts.
Yeah.
That had like an eagle on them. And apparently he's not allowed to wear them at home, if that tells you anything. So.
Look.
So it's like
anybody,
it's like European swim trunks.
Yeah.
Right.
If anybody's familiar with like softies, they weren't those, right? But that's what they are. They were nicknamed the Ranger Panty. You know, it's a military guys. Apparently, I've never worn them, but I've met many a military,
Yeah.
ex-military person who wears them all the time. Loves them. The range of motion is very freeing, I'm told.
Yeah.
But this guy, John's a Marine.
Mhm.
Is it-
You know
You got
softies
some of
then.
these things?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
You didn't
Those
bring-
short
you-
shorts. I don't. They're
You
not
didn't
with
bring
me.
that shit with you.
No, sir.
Okay, good.
No, sir.
I will next time.
No, you
I
won't.
said I'll keep your interest.
I'll burn them. No, I don't want to see that, man.
Mhm.
There's certain things that are like, yeah,
PTSD.
yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I'll never forget. I successfully kind of pushed it to the side, so thanks for bringing it back up, Pinky.
Hey man, that's what I'm here for. I just want to make you as uncomfortable as possible.
Well, it's just, I've said it so many times over the years, and it sounds like a broken record. I mean, it's just the quality of the people that we continue to bring into the organization. There's no words to explain it anymore. I mean, because I have those same moments. Usually I reflect, my times of reflection are in the shower, believe it or not. For some reason, it's like, it's just the place where I reflect. And I always think about that stuff, man. Just like, holy shit, Oscar Minks, Pinky, Eric Hansen. I mean, Eric, our path, our road has been just amazing, man. I mean, bumps in the road, but holy crap, just amazing.
I take a lot of credit for that because I reached out to Pinky and was like, hey, you know anybody that could do this? And brought Oscar on. And what's funny is, I knew of your work. I hadn't actually met you, but I came in to a position after you had moved on and had seen a lot of the work. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take credit for bringing in Oscar, which then brought in Pinky, which brought in the majority of that team. So there you go.
So Brad, we're moving you into HR.
No, I do have a bunch of
Congratulations.
interviews for some consultants coming up.
There's people here. My wife is here. Keep
Oh.
going. I'm busy. Busy. That's Bobby.
Hey,
See, this is what Bobby looks like.
what up, Bobby?
Hey.
All right.
All right.
Evan, I'm sending you a picture of the shorts. These are not Chris in the shorts. This is another guy from the website that sells them, but I'm sending it to you anyway so you can see them.
All right.
They call them silkies.
Semper
called-
Silkies. Yep.
All right. I'm looking at it right now.
I like how he had to take his
Yeah. No.
off camera so we couldn't see his reaction.
Yeah, that was definitely on purpose, right?
Mhm.
You broke me, bro.
So Christmas gift?
Christmas gift.
I'll rock them.
Ross, can you get me some of these?
Ride your bike with them.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. So
Might get a sunburn on those thighs.
yeah, no doubt. So how many, so we had 19 people. How many, isn't it the majority of the people that went, were they first timers?
I'd say it was probably a little over half for first timers. Yeah.
At least in
'Cause I
person.
know the first time I ever went to Defcon, it was a hell of an experience. It's just like, whoa, lots of lights, lots of ego, lots of weird things and people and
Yep.
outfits. And I mean,
Yeah, I'll
it's
say
kind of fun to
that.
watch people do that.
I'll say that due to the fact that it was, half. It was like 30% of the people that showed up, right? I think it was pushing 30,000 2 years ago. It was like 9,000 this year. So it was a little under 30%. And there's a lot of stuff that was virtual. The biohacking village was entirely virtual from what I understand. I don't think, a lot of villages were virtual. A lot of events were virtual. There wasn't a lot to see. So it was kind of unfortunate for the first timers. They didn't get to really see Defcon, not to the same extent. At the same time, it was also kind of easy to just focus on CTFs because there wasn't a lot to go do or see.
Right.
But it was, I think next year, looking forward to next year. I think then they'll really get a feel for the actual thing.
I will say, I was talking to Pinky about it on, what was that, Friday morning? And I think, I was telling him, I was like, I just realized we have a huge advantage over the guys in Vegas because we're sober and slept in our own beds.
And you had
Yeah.
an internet connection that was faster than
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
megs.
Yeah. That's
Well-
also there wasn't a super club just outside your window that bumped the beats to about 5 a.m. And that was rough. Yeah. I would literally every morning. So like I tried putting in like noise proof headphones, tried putting in like some earplugs, and it was just the bass, that was carrying. It was so loud, like none of that did anything. I would still I have these like meditation beats in my headphones, and in the background I'd still hear it just keeps going and going. And I would finally fall asleep eventually though, but I would wake up in the morning like tense, like, oh, what's going on? Okay, the club's over. All right, the club's closed.
Yeah, man. Peaceful here in the mountains. We were good.
Now, Pinky, how far away do you guys live from each other? Pinky and Aspen.
It's about a 3-ish hour drive.
Yeah,
right?
about 3 hours. Yeah, well, you're what, 45 from Knoxville, something like that.
Depends on which part. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember though, it takes me 40 minutes to get to the interstate, so that's not a good estimate. So once I hit the interstate, it's pretty quick to get up to about 2 hours or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like that.
Now, the next time we have a thing coming up, Hacks and Hops. Are all of you going to be there?
Yep. We will all be there.
Are you kidding me? I'm gonna see all of you in person.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Brad, you're going too, right?
Dude.
I'm assuming things calm down and don't keep going up.
Right.
Well, I'm thinking about riding my bike down there. So
Nice.
Brad, you can ride bitch.
I'll ride my micro bike.
There you go.
I'll ride an airplane there.
Yeah, airplane is safer.
I would say if you guys are going to do that, then make sure you plan an extra day to head east and come out my way so you can get in the mountains. Because I mean, Nashville's fine and all, but if you're going to be riding your bike, you want to be out here.
Yeah, go hit that Blue Ridge Parkway, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, well,
That'll be fun.
long drive. That's like probably 16, 18 hours.
Yeah, I'll do it over 2 days. I'll break it up. Yeah, but it's that part. It's the part through the mountains, and it's some of the most beautiful. Like out here, this is Sturgis, and some of the best riding in the country, if not the world. I mean, just amazing scenery, twisties that they're actually paved. Occasionally, I end up on a gravel road on accident for many miles. Marlis doesn't like that because she doesn't like when her butt end is going like this, waving back and forth.
Peak's pretty close to the Tail of the Dragon too. I think that's a skip from you down there. If you've heard of that, so that's a pretty famous ride.
That's awesome. So what's in store for the team next year? So we've got Hacks and Hops coming. It'll be awesome to see you guys in person. We'll have to hang out. I'll buy you. You guys all drink, right?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
To recover.
Because some people don't, like I don't.
Yeah.
I can't because I'm allergic. I'm really good at it though. I mean, you want to talk about competitions? Like, dude, if there was a drinking CTF,
beer drinking CTF.
Game
I
on.
would capture so many flags.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for days.
Yeah. If there was for me, it would have been a tequila drinking CTF. Yeah. Yep. Lots of flags. Lots and lots of flags. And handcuffs. Not the sexual hand.
I think what's next for ambush though? That was where we're headed.
Yeah.
Sorry, we derailed.
Right.
I need to edit that out.
World domination, I think, is our primary focus right now. But yeah, we were just talking about that today. I think we're brainstorming a little bit. There's always learning opportunity when we do these things. We identify maybe some skills we can improve on, maybe identify some folks that we want to focus on their specific learning, and then really just kind of, start figuring out what we think we want to do. And then working as a team, what does the team want to do? It's not my decision. It's not Eric's. It's not Pinky's. It's we can have the things we really want to do, but if we don't get buy-in from the team to do all those things, what does it matter? And so I think it's just us brainstorming right now and doing some learning and reflecting and saying, all right, let's take this and let's figure out a plan for next year and see what everybody's in for,
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, it should go without saying you have mine and, management's, full support on all this. I love seeing, this is what it's all about, right? Our culture, the way we bond together, the way we do things together, the way we serve the mission, right? The mission is to fix a broken industry. In order to do that, you serve people, right? You start with serving each other. right? I mean, if you guys are infighting and doing all the drama crap, you're not going to do anything good for a customer.
It's
So
just me, Oscar.
yeah. So I love it, man. It's awesome. It seems like it's been quiet lately. Maybe it's just because I've been out of hand, but I haven't seen any like major attacks.
There was one
lately.
today.
Oh no, what happened?
Brad, you got the deets on that one.
Yeah, Accenture apparently Lockbit got them. They
Oh
said
yeah, that's right. We talked about-
2,500 devices and what was it, like 6 terabytes of data.
Well, it just goes to show CPA firms don't know how to secure their stuff.
You know, it's funny. I sent the article, and their response was like, how did you respond when you read it? Thinking it was like, that's not how this works.
No, I mean, like their details on this. It was an insider. It wasn't. It was Lockbit. Like none of this is how attacks work. So I'll be curious to see what comes out of this. When this, it seems like nonsense right now.
Yeah. Well, and that's, you know, how important in incident response it is to craft the message, right? To get ahead of the story so that it's clear, it's concise, get PR on board, right? Because if you get out of the gate, I mean, i.e. Equifax, I mean, that was the biggest PR disaster I've ever seen in incident response. And if Accenture's got public remarks out that don't make sense right now,
Yeah.
this isn't a good sign.
Oh,
No, not at all. I mean, we've worked a bunch of Lockbit cases, so we're familiar with it. It just something doesn't add up right now. So I mean, you know, I'm going to give them some grace and just say that it's rough reporting right now, and maybe the facts aren't straight yet, but I want to keep an eye on it and see what comes out of it because it just doesn't make sense right now.
Yeah. All right. So other than Accenture, it seems like it's been fairly quiet.
I'm sure something else will come up.
Well, I know, but it's always that calm before the storm that always kind of gets me. It's
Yeah,
like,
that was
what's in the making right now.
my next thing is why you jinxing us, bro?
Hey,
His reaction.
this is this is the work you guys love to do, right? It's not a jinx.
Oh yeah, it's
You
the
know?
work we love to do, but we also obviously still hate seeing people in those
Yeah.
tough situations.
Yeah, we always say we're trying to work ourselves out of a job. I mean, that's fine. We've got other stuff. We've all got other skills. Let's put
Yeah.
these guys out of business.
I will say,
Yeah.
knowing that kind of like when Half Dam broke and some of that stuff, I was very glad the team is as good as they are because I didn't have to jump in and do the work. Like 2 years ago, like I said, like when Oscar started, I was IR.
Yeah.
It was kind of wrangling, you know, subcontractors and taking on, and that's just a lot of work. So now it's awesome.
Yeah, that whole exercise was pretty incredible. I think we worked about 30 to 35 cases on our team, and like we were like getting through complete investigations, and those it was comprehensive too, like, you know,
Yep.
close attention to detail, like banging them out. It was so good.
But I know you have your team has some ideas on things to do, you know, kind of outside of, you know, in between incidents and things, right? Filling in gaps, you know. And we don't have to announce anything now, but I'm looking forward to, you know, more of that stuff. I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we got something cool in the works. I think that I want to hold it a little bit till we get some things worked out, legal things and things like that. But
So I should delete the tweet then, is what you're saying.
I would love to come back on though when we launch that and talk about it. I think that would be I think it's going to be something cool that your listeners are going to be excited to hear about. I hope.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. So Eric, on the red team side of things, anything cool, new, exciting you guys are working on? You guys always have, I mean, you guys are booked out till like forever, I think. But
2025 right now, I think.
Yeah, 2025, 26, something like that. It feels like it. We're you know, doing a lot of the same stuff we're always doing, you know, trying to keep up with all the work, all the stuff that's coming in, trying to fit in like puzzle pieces, all the jobs that people need done last minute, things like that. And then, you know, all the while trying to learn some new things, document some stuff we started doing 3 years ago that we haven't had a chance to start documenting yet, you know, the normal in a growing company.
right.
Yeah, and also Eric's not going to give himself credit, but he's been super busy leveling up our people like a madman, and we got more people on board right now. And he's just done an incredible job with that, so it's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty. And I do hear that stuff, Eric. So if you're not going to say it, I'll keep asking Oscar about it.
That's fine.
Usually when Eric's not around, I'm like, yeah, I'm working so hard leveling these people up, man. I wish Eric could help.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's
Well,
a
and
lie.
we're not even to fourth quarter yet, right? I mean, fourth quarter notoriously just slams us.
Yeah.
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 Are we
Well-
hiring right now on the red team and blue team or blue team? I mean, are we?
We don't have any,
Staffing?
we don't have any positions posted right now. We're actually going to be looking at capacity tomorrow.
Okay.
And making decisions on when we open those postings up, if we do. So
Yeah, because we've hired, I mean, between pen testers and scanners, how many people this year on the red team alone now? 5?
5, yeah.
5. So please don't make me hire anyone else yet. I'm catching up with, no, honestly though, the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised, but currently not out there yet.
And Eric's not saying he doesn't want to hire anymore because anybody's been bad. Our 5 people we
No,
brought on
but I
the shore
love
are
our 5
awesome. Eric spends a lot of time leveling these folks up and getting them ready to go. And it's a lot of work.
My beard, my mustache is funny. Well, and then oh crap, what was I going to say? Oh, so pretty, as you continue to grow like this, what happens is you have to fold it, meaning an executive, and then now you have to have a director with manager. You know what I mean? It's time to start maybe folding things. One of the things I had gotten from an email, we were talking about, the performance of, last month in terms of the company. And one of the questions, I asked was, what concerns do we have right now? It's the same question basically every month. And the one concern is, trying to keep up on operations, right? There is so much demand. You guys have given FR Secure such a good name that there's always 3 things you need for a customer: trust, credibility, and they have to like you, right? You guys have their trust. You have you're damn credible. We were talking about Defcon and all the great things you guys have done. That's credibility. Not only does it build the team, not only does there's a credibility piece to it. And then you guys are all just like awesome people, right? So that's why you've created, so start being jerks, start messing up your projects. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But that's why, that's why the company grows. That's why, you're kind of always in this position of more people.
Yeah, and there's so much integrity. And I know, like, I'm this way, Eric's this way, Pinky's this way, and it's everybody on the team where, like, if we're doing a project, it's going to be done right. Like, there's no other option there. Like, if you bought this service from us, we're contracted to do this service for you. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you get the most value out of that, regardless if it takes extra time or we have to go that extra mile to give you that value. And, that's kind of been a struggle, figure out how we get lean operationally, how we are efficient and stuff. And it's tough because we take so much pride in our work that, the whole team is willing to be like, okay, I get that, but I'm still going to stay up till midnight tonight and work on this so I can do it on my own time and give them the value they need. And it's just really respectable. And we're lucky to build that culture and have people, we're not forcing people to do that. Like, be clear, like, our people are doing that because they love it and they want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we had to kick guys out to go sleep? Like, stop
Mhm.
working this case, let somebody else work it for a little while, go get some rest
Yeah.
and freshen up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. It's a great problem to have, but it is kind of a constant battle. So.
I'm having flashbacks to the old days when, none of you guys were here, and I'd have like 10 reports to write, in the next 3 days. And in the back of your mind, you knew that if I shortcut this report, right, if I half-ass it, the customer will never know. But the problem is I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't freaking go to sleep you can't do that. So I would work, 48, 50 hours straight trying to get these reports done, knowing I could, I know what it's like, man.
I think
Baseball
That's-
coach.
That's integrity. What's
My old
that?
baseball coach used to say, you may be able to fool everybody in the room, but you can't fool the man in the mirror.
Yeah. Well,
That's it.
it goes back to our just general principle, I think, of, from a sales perspective, why would we make the customer pay if we scoped it wrong, right? If it's our mistake and we're saying, hey, we can do this for this, and then come back halfway through and go, guess what? We were wrong. Now, yeah, if it's misscoped from the customer, yeah, there is that option. But for the majority of the time, do what's right.
All right, well, let's wrap this. I want to have you guys back on again and often, because you guys always have cool things to share. So I think as news comes out, because you do have your own, the Hackle Box, which is awesome.
Yeah, we got another session coming up Friday. So anyone listening to this who also listens to the Hackle Box, tune in on Friday. Oh, shoot, I don't know, man. I think like
2 Central.
Do we look like
2 o'clock
marketing
Central.
people? We
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. Yeah, somebody
Man, we
else
just show up when somebody
and it's
tells
do
us to.
it.
Yeah. Just turn on our camera. We're already talking, just like we do on the Hackle Box. We just flip the camera on for that hour.
Yeah, marketing sends us invites just like they send the viewers invites. We show up and we talk about stuff.
Yeah.
I do think we haven't finalized our agenda. We'll probably talk about some of the DEFCON stuff. I do want to dig into Vegas marketing. I haven't got a chance to talk to Eric and Pinky about this. Pinky, you weren't there, but Eric was there to see it when we got off the airport or off the airplane to claim your baggage. Oh my God, it was like cyber marketing overload. And I think
Undefeated.
undefeated against ransomware.
Undefeated against ransomware. That's all.
We'll probably
no.
unpack that a little bit. Yep.
I don't want to get mad on Friday, guys.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, because we did talk about DEFCON, we were kind of all over the place. Maybe just do a quick recap of the things and where everybody, what we did. So biohacking. Oscar, how many people do you think were on that? I think I saw there was like 90 teams.
No, I don't know. It was actually the most teams they ever had there. I think it was 185 this year.
Yeah. Okay. And
who's number one?
Ambush.
These guys.
And here I will brag about myself because, why not? I did finish 8th overall on biohacking.
Way to go, Brad.
It sucked. It was a lot of fun. Then open sock, we said 500. You guys finished 8th.
Awesome.
So I did that one, and I finished 30th. So I'm, not thrilled with that, but I can't complain. And then Eric, you guys, how many teams were on that command and control?
I asked
one.
Seth.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
I did ask Seth that. I think he thought around 100. I don't know though.
And you guys finished
Yeah.
second, which
I know that they had
I'm
planned to
going.
have 500 teams, but they ended up not having. I know that they didn't do that. So
It's just amazing.
That's cool. Well, congratulations, guys. I am very, very proud of you guys. Everybody, all 19 of you that participated, and anybody who didn't get to participate, i.e. Tyler, I don't think he got to go.
He did
we had people
participate with us
remotely
though.
participating.
Yeah.
We had
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Yep.
Okay, so I was gonna say I'm not really proud of him, but I guess now I have to be. So
you can still be disappointed in him. That's your right.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
so for the record, I'm disappointed.
Okay.
I
Cool.
think he could have done much better. I think he's probably the reason why you were struggling with the sock stuff. He was distracted. You blame it because he said, well, it's not kind of our bailiwick. Well, Tyler's probably not your bailiwick. No, I'm just kidding. I had to do a jab. I know I do a jab on Tyler. Well, he's family, right? I can't.
Yeah,
get rid
that's
of it.
right.
Yeah.
I'm stuck with him
Keep
forever.
it in mind.
No, I love Tyler. Tyler's amazing. All right. So yes, thanks for the recap, Brad. And then Friday. So today is Wednesday. 2 days. You guys have another Hackle Box. It's usually around midday, if I remember. So if you don't know the exact
Two
time.
Central.
2 Central. Okay. So if you go to frsecure.com, resources probably is where you'll find it.
Yeah, just Google the Hackle Box, and there should be a registration link that comes up, I believe.
Okay, cool. And then if anybody has any questions, so any of the listeners, if you have questions for Team Ambush, something we didn't cover that you want to ask these guys, shoot us an email. It's unsecurity@protonmail.com.
We're not sharing the shorts.
I already did.
I'll wear them next
So,
time.
do you want me to delete that tweet too? I mean, how many tweets do I have to delete, Brad?
You might want to just
No.
delete your whole account. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
it might be the safest.
I was telling John I don't watch TV. And so what I've been doing for entertainment is I've been trolling the far left with an account that appears as though it's from the far left, and trolling the far right with an account that appears as though it's coming from the far right. Because then they ask
Nice.
like, what do you stand for? So that's what I do for fun. So you talk about Twitter accounts. Yes, I have many. You can have
Why
one.
don't
if
you,
want.
yeah, signal me, those handles. I'd like to,
They're
Just
fun.
play,
It's
just
so
play
much
from
fun.
home.
yeah, I'd like to get a laugh.
And
Because I
when
don't-
they ask
I-
you what you stand for, just give them a picture of those shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Regardless
because-
of who asks.
Well, the thing is, man, when somebody can't defend their point, right? Somebody makes a point to you. They do one of two things, right? When challenged, they either change the subject or they attack your character.
Yeah.
Right. So when people are doing things, I'm like, oh, really? Tell me more about that. Do you have any evidence to maybe support that? And they're like, oh, you bigot. Okay, I'm sorry. What? Just looking for evidence. So anyway, it's fun. All right, you guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for, and seriously, great job. I'm super duper proud of this team. I'll see you guys on Friday. I will tune in for the Hacklebox from wherever I'm at here, Spearfish. But I won't be in Spearfish on Friday. But anyway, good job. Love you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
See you guys.
See you guys.